Hi guys, we take here at Blueberry Hill. So this is May 29th to May 31st. I did a little bit of work. Jake helped me out Friday, the day before. It's a Saturday. So I decided to do a little more on the couple of walls, and sure things up. Didn't do a whole lot, just this wall, and then the next day I come back and finish the big wall on the left side. Then I head over to my brother-in-law's for a little bit of Memorial Day celebration. But anyway, it was fairly straightforward, just one wall. We're going to keep the inside of the bathroom right in front of us. The inside wall is going to be the steel from the containers, so that's all good. But we're going to put 2x on this one, and that'll let us actually do some the ceiling nicely and make everything look pretty good. But anyway, pretty straightforward. It was one large wall. You can see some sisters that helped put. It's like almost 8 plus 4 foot, so it's like a 12-foot wall. Fairly straightforward. I always use the angle thing to angle gauge to make my corners square, and then I simply nail the studs in place on the marks that I've marked out. So as mentioned before, everything's 16-ounce center. Yeah, I fudge a little bit under windows because there's no point in having a big giant hole there and whatever. You might have seen that in the other videos, but anyway, for the most part, it's 16-ounce center. I'm sure when we do drywall, we're gonna mark that so we don't shoot into nothing. But the whole point is to have support for drywall. This is, I think, a little bit of overkill. We don't need 16-ounce center framing per se, but that's kind of like a standard. So I just stuck with that. It'll keep things nice and solid. And then the spray foam and insulation in the middle walls will be somewhere to put that. So we're going to use soundproofing on interior walls and spray foam on the exterior walls. So we'll see how that goes in the future videos. So this is May 30th. This is before I went over to my brother-in-law's for the celebration. Anyway, we're running out of 2x here, so this is the end of the second pallet. When I finished up, I think I had like 4 or 5 normal 8-footers left and a couple of 93-inch studs that were pre-cutting. So not much else to do anyway. But so anyway, I did this one wall, shored it up. Now this is the big wall. Pretty straightforward. This set of containers was pretty bowed. The blue containers had pretty good. I guess they were squished or something. I have no idea what happens to these containers, but the walls aren't typically perfectly straight up and down, and that yeah, they sure would be if you bought a brand new container or one-time use or something like that. But look, there's no point in doing that. We've covered most of them up and cut the rest of it out. So regardless. Anyway, it's working out pretty good. I'm not really seeing any issues with what we're doing. The spray foam that's going to go on the inside of the all these walls that we're making. We're going to try to shoot for 2 or 3 inches of spray foam. That should give us really good insulation R factor. Here, see me actually fixing a boo-boo. I for some reason or other made this window framing. I'm trying to be about a 1/2 inch outside of the window, so we put wallboard up nicely to the windows on all the windows. I might have not explained that too much prior, but when we put the framing around the windows, we try to leave kind of like a 1/2 inch gap, maybe a little bit less. So when wallboard goes up, it's a nice seam, even seam all around the window. They're all the same, plus or minus, quarter 1/2 inch width. Up and down, they seem to be pretty consistent. But you saw me fixing the over tight framings. I'm always trying it now. I don't just nail them and finish everything and then try to put it in place and go, so try to be a little bit forefront here. And once you get the main frames up, I double check it just to make sure I don't have trouble. But again, we're not doing structural framing. We're just doing something that'll hold wallboard and trim. So there you go. But anyway, pretty straightforward. That was the hard part, and now there's 3 more sections of normal 16-ounce center straight up wall. So put those together, and then of course the ceiling is going to be up there. I'm going to end up doing that probably within a few days. Have to weld the plates in the middle and hang what I'm calling the 2x4 header, so I can get the joists up, and that's about it. So here I'm just doing a joint. I'm usually pre-drilling and then using screws to make these joints. If there's a small section that needs to be added to the wall, normally you'd have a top plate on a wall that connects all that stuff, but we're not doing that. So alternate means. It should be plenty good for what we're doing. Anyway, moving on. So here I'm working on the last section for the this wall. You'll notice when I put it up, it's gonna go into the doorway a little bit. I opened this door up when I cut the container oversized. I didn't really know how big our door was gonna. Well, I kind of knew, but I made the hole bigger than I needed it. And now that I've put the walls up, I'm making it the proper size. So on the 31st, I went out, had to buy a couple more pallets of 2x. They're the same price as I bought a week ago, so you know, no surprise there. But Home Depot so far has been the lowest on the stud front. This is white wood. It's actually very good stuff. It's very little warping. A couple pieces are, you know, they have a little bit of almost bark on them, but that's only a few and far between. They've been really good, very solid, and they're nice and dried. So good quality stuff for the price in today's market. Everybody wants even upwards of $15 a stud, which is highway robbery in all respects. At $8 a stud, it's highway robbery anyway. I don't know what's going on. I mean, it's the market's ridiculous. Somebody's manipulating something. I don't think this is a natural process. Nobody is saying anything, so that usually tells you there's something going on. But anyway, aside from that, I needed 2x, so I got 2x, and I'm building walls. So these sections I'm building on the back, they're pretty small. They're like a 7 foot wide. Containers are 8 feet wide on the outside, not on the inside, right? So once you put the 2x4s up walls, you roughly lose 10 inches if you do it the way we're doing it, which is fine by us because we want the R factor. We want the insulation level. Other people put them flat on the wall, which gives you about 1.5 inches of insulation. No bueno in my book, but whatever. Each to his own. So I'm working on the other side of that wall. That's on the very back of the containers. I had to move over that one 2x. You measure twice or 3 times just to make sure. This wall would have ended up being super tight on the window, so I moved that 1 2x you saw me messing with over. And of course, then you have enough room around the window to put the wall board and make everything look consistent. So earlier you might have seen me using a clamp rather, to kind of straighten out 2x's. I put one nail into one side of the 2x, and then I pry it with the clamp, and it seems to straighten it out when I fire more nails into it. And that's been the process I've been using. Works great. So you're gonna see me doing a couple small little, I call them like, they're more like braces, I guess. Top and bottom for the kick out. You see the container, that's the thick steel. I'm not cutting into that. All the containers that are jointer have that area, so I just make a box around them, and I'm actually pre-drilling and then screwing, making these little brackets, and then you'll see me put a 2x, 4 2x's together to make the I'll call it a column, but it's not a column, it's just a surround. But anyway, I try to make it as straight as possible, and then on this one I actually did a little boo-boo. I put these 2 2x's, I should have put them flat in there so I could actually nail them better to the wall, but you know, I managed to do it. The nailing surfaces were not all that accessible when I did this, so it was a pain in the ass once I realized what I did, but I wasn't going to cut that up and redo it. But anyway, I put the foam down there. That concrete's not, we didn't get the grinder quite into the wall area, and I think too hard to chisel. It's almost flat, so I didn't even bother chiseling. I just put that cell seal pink stuff, and then leveled it all out and made sure everything was true. So anyway, pretty straightforward. And I actually believe I put some shims under the bottom of that one just to, you know, make more sense out of it. It was kind of standing proud of the floor a little bit. So after I finished the back section, I started on the front of the same containers. This is the bedroom area. I got a little more efficient doing it. I did all four the bottom and top plates are the same size, so I pre-cut those. Pretty straightforward. The funny part here, the door on this container, once I had it was cut inside. You see the window, it's actually cut inside the frame of the container door, and that on this container doesn't even give me enough space to put a 2x between the window and the wall on the right side. So I had to come up with a different method. Basically I had to put the wall in place and then build the corner out. No big deal. It just took a couple extra pieces and a little more measuring. So wasn't as easy just making a wall on the ground. Too bad, but it is what it is. So I'm building the supports and the sill right in place, and then I'm going to build the corner. Again, it's all for having a location so you could put the wallboard up and have something to screw and nail to. Here I had to redo something. I actually thought I had a certain amount of space and I had less. So basically I'm putting these nailers in, and then the top sill plate, window plate, whatever you want to call it, and then we build out some more 2x in the corner. Again, I couldn't shove a 2x on that wall like I did all the others. I'm not sure that's going to be a problem on any other container. This was the only one that seemed to have that issue. I cut the windows in the same areas in all the other containers, and I still have access. We'll see what the middle containers do though. There's one window similar to this one. We'll find out. So I'm working on the last wall for the day, and then I call it quits. Angie's flying back tonight. We'll be picking her up from the airport in a little bit. I'm going to relax for a couple hours and then go to pick her up and her folks from the airport. But anyway, just FYI, so I'm using the Hero 9 now to do all my time lapse. This is actually the Hero 9 time lapse itself. I didn't speed it up through my software, video software that I normally use. So hopefully you find it worthy of content here. So here's a more detailed view of me making those braces again. It's pretty straightforward. I actually lucked out on making these. They come together very easily. I don't have to stand there, pat my head, rub my belly counting, trying to figure out how all this works. So just put them all on the ground, nail those suckers down, and then put in the other 2x. And here you're going to see me doing what I was hoping to do on the other wall. Put the 2x in properly on this wall, like this, so I could actually have a surface to nail to, or easier access. It's still tight because the box that I made doesn't really let me do the nail gun in there. I have to use screws with the driver, but no big deal. As long as I can get a ton of screws in there or nails here and there, it seems to be very solid, and the wall's going to stay up. Anyway, that's about it for this video. Appreciate you guys watching. Next will be ceilings and middle containers.